Sloane, she's a good player. Can you just talk through that match? Very tight. And what do you think made the difference to get it done in 2?
Yeah, it was a tough match. I thought she played some really good tennis. I played well as well. It was just really good competitive tennis. Like, obviously that's what you play for. I felt really good in the second. I wasn't like getting tired, so I was happy with that. We had some really long rallies, but overall I think it was just a really like high quality match, and it's good to get those types of matches, be on the good side of those matches.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sloane, in a perfect world, given your body clock, what is the latest you would like a match to start?
Latest to start?
For peak, even melatonin kicks in at some point.
Yeah, I don't want to be starting past midnight. I think that's a little crazy. I think the girls playing till 3 a.m. was a little bit, I don't think there's any sport in the world that plays at 3 a.m., so I don't think we should be one of them. And I totally understand the guys going 5 sets. It's like unpredictable. You don't know, like, of course, but I still think it's a little much.
It's crazy to think you guys can be playing at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. Like, how?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
Prepare for matches that you could be playing that are hugely important at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone really thinks of it that way, but I think that obviously we play a game that's very unpredictable. So someone could be up 2 sets to love and they can go 5 sets and you're out there for another, they play 4.5 hours instead of 2 hours, and like anything can happen. So I think, obviously I don't think the tournament would want anyone playing at 3 a.m. There's ball kids and umpires. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just the 2 players. So I don't think anyone wants to be out there at 3 a.m. I think that's just kind of how the cookie crumbled last night, which was unfortunate. But a court change or something to manipulate the schedule probably would have been a better decision.
How does it feel to get back into the round of 16, not just in Australia, but just at the Slam? Do you feel like this is, like for Sloane Stephens, is this like expected result sort of thing in your head? Or what?
No, not at all. I haven't won a match here in like 3-4 years, so this is good. Obviously, I had some tough matches in Brisbane and Sydney, so I was kind of just like working my way into it. But I feel good, and I'm happy to be back in the round of 16 here. I've played some really good matches, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, just looking forward to getting back out there on Sunday.
What aspect of your game are you most pleased with so far here?
I think I've moved pretty well. I've kind of weathered the storm. I've had some interesting players I think I've played against, like Taylor, the serve and volley. Timmy, she has a huge serve today. I thought Petra played really great. So I've just kind of weathered the storm, not gotten too down on myself, so I think it's something to be pleased with.
I want to ask you about a specific aspect of your game. No one at this tournament on the women's side has used the challenge as effectively as you. There's only a couple of women who've even used it as much as you. How much of that is like tactical foresight, and how much of that is just the luck of the way the ball bounces and your Hawkeye being maybe better than the Hawkeye?
Well, I don't know. I've had like 8 correct overrules or something like that, someone told me. And I was like, first of all, I'm not a line judge, so that's ridiculous. And then, like, I'm the person that practices, and I never call any balls out. I play everything. Like, I just, whatever. And then sometimes I'll be like, oh, I probably could have got to that. And I'm like, oh, no, it's probably out. And then I'll just be like, challenge. Like, I don't know. It's just, you can kind of feel, like, when the ball's out, or I don't know, or like someone hits a good serve. Yeah, it was a good serve, but yeah, I think it was out. Like, I mean, just use it. It's there.
So there's more feel to it than it is something maybe you're talking about with your coaches and really tactically strategizing before a match.
Oh no, I have no idea when I'm going to use it. Like, they hit a good serve, and I'm like, oh, I think it was out. I just challenge, whatever.
Is there an emotional advantage besides the tactical advantage to winning that point?
Well,
on one side or the other of that sort of adrenaline rush, or the sort of having that point sort of taken from you by someone's challenge?
I don't know. I think that the challenges that I've had here have been on like really important points. So when I played Temi, there was one like on break point. There was one where she was serving at like, I don't know, maybe it was like 3-all in the first set, and she double faulted. They didn't call it, and then I called it, and like, I think it's a little bit emotional because you're like, I was going to say a bad word, sorry. You're like, man. You're like, that could have been like, you know, like 1 point changes a situation, because you could lose that point and then the person get an ace and like it's over and then you're like, oh, like, so I think it's up and down, especially if you're challenging and you're winning the challenges, because then you're like, that ball was out and they didn't call it. So I think that part about it is like frustrating. But for the other person, sometimes they know, like if I hit a ball and I know it was out and they challenge, I'm like, okay, whatever, like it's not a big deal. But I think it's a little bit more emotional when it's like a big point and they don't call it, you call it, then it's overruled, and like it's just a lot.
So, in your last press conference, the journalist gave you a book about cremation, right? Mm-hmm. What was it like living in a funeral business home?
Yeah, it's cool. A lot of dead bodies. Like, I mean, I don't know. Just
How
like,
realistic is 6 feet under?
like, I mean, it's pretty real. Like, I think that a lot of people are scared of dead bodies, but you can't be scared of. They're like the only thing you shouldn't be scared of, because they can't do anything to you. Like, you should be scared of the people walking around, because you don't know what's gonna happen, right? So I don't know. It's pretty cool. Kind of a different like outlook on like just to, you know, appreciate. Like my uncle, I'm not allowed to work funerals anymore because I did it one summer and I went and I was like helping because he told me he would pay me. And then when the families started coming in and they were like crying, I started crying. So he was like, you can't work here anymore. I was like, okay, like this isn't for me. But I think it just gives you like a good perspective on life and just appreciate your loved ones while they're around and your family and stuff. So yeah, it's cool.
Did it take you a while to adjust to seeing dead bodies, or were you
Yeah, I don't think you ever get like used to it, but I'm like really into like the bodies and like cremation and like I like that stuff. I don't know, I'm really weird. It's kind of strange, yeah.
Do you like messages on tombstones? Is that how you do that?
No. I like embalming and like seeing the bodies. Like I like that type of stuff. I'm not like, I don't want to dress the bodies. Like I've had to do that and I don't really like that, but I mean, it's cool. Like making them look nice for like their family to see them one last time is like, it's rewarding.
Your first car wasn't a hearse, was it?
No. I would drive them around my grandparents' house just to say I did it, but not anywhere in public.
Sloane, what would it mean for you to be number one?
I think it would be really cool. I think there'd probably be a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation, but I think when you play tennis, it's something you work for, and to get so close and to be like right in the mix of it, I think that's really cool. Something for your career that, you know, not a lot of people can say, like, yeah, I was the number one tennis player in the world. I think anyone that plays tennis, like, dreams of saying that. One day I hope to get there, but, I mean, we'll just have to see. The way this point system's working and the way Halep's deciding to play, who knows, guys? We just got to wait and see.
Simona said when she was chasing it that one year where she was always like 1 match away from doing it, and people were kind of saying, hey, you know that historically the number one ranking has created all this pressure, and do you even want that? Like, you know, like, and she's like, well, I'd like to know what that pressure is like. I'd like to try.
Yeah.
Like, does that resonate at all with you? Because I know
course.
the pressure could.
Yeah, of course. I think like being number one, that's what everyone wants. I would love to be number one in the world, but I think it's a lot of hard work to get there is extremely tough. I think that no matter what happens, like if I do get there, if I don't get there, whatever, like I'm gonna try. If it happens, great. If not, I'm pretty sure like the money at 1 and 2 are similar, so it's not. I won't be so devastated, but it would be something nice to say that. I got somewhere in the world at some point in my career.
You play Pavlyuchenkova for a spot in the quarters. You're on top in your encounters with her. Why do you think you match up so well on her?
I'm not sure. I've just played some good matches against her. We played, the last time we played, we had a situation. But, we played good matches against each other, and I'm looking forward to it. It's for a quarterfinal of a slam, so obviously it'll be a good match.
So, injuries are always bad, but tennis is the one sport where players get injured and go away for a long time, and sometimes they benefit from it. Obviously, you came back and won a slam. But why do you think that is?
I think tennis is a really long, like we play all year long, and I think to have a little bit of a break when you're forced to have a break kind of just gives you like a mental reset. You can focus on things that you probably wouldn't be focusing on when you're playing full time. I know for me, I was really happy to just spend time with my family. Like I felt like I was like missing something at home. Like I was able to be with my grandparents and really just like experience life. And I think sometimes for people to get like a little reset just helps give them a little jump start. And I think that, like, for a lot of players, it's really good. Some players, not so much. But, yeah, I think just the individual person kind of depends on them.
Not
Oh, God, what are you about to say?
not to beat the topic to death, but I presume in Fed Cup they're dead rubbers, just as in Davis Cup.
Yeah.
And have you ever played a dead rubber?
Isn't that something you should be telling me if I played it or not? No, I'm like, I have no idea. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that was a trick question. I should know that. It was?
Yeah, about death, dead rubbers, that's what's the trick.
Oh, I was going to say a bad word again. No. Yeah, that one went. Sorry, you tried.
Sloane, just kind of a weirdly, it might be a crass question, but when it comes to the pressure of playing matches, right, whether you're young and you're coming up or you're experienced, is there ever a moment where the thought of the money that's at stake in the match that you're playing comes into it, either before or after? You know, because we think of it as, oh, you guys are feeling the pressure from wanting to win a fourth round to make a quarterfinal. And I'm just wondering if players ever think, like, also, you know, the monetary difference between what's at stake in that moment.
I don't think so. I'm sure some players do, like, because it's different between the top 10 and someone that's at 100. Like, it's a big difference. Yeah, it's exactly. But, I mean, once you get that late into the tournament, it's a lot of, I mean, you're just trying to do whatever you can to win. To say you made a quarterfinal or semifinal is better than, like, oh, I made this much money, because you'll make more money if you actually win the next round and, like, keep going. So, yeah, I don't, like, when I won the US Open, I was like, holy cow. Like, I didn't know. But, like, that's not something you're, like, paying attention to. You just want to, like, you want to win. Yeah. But I think when you're winning and you're happy, like, the money comes. Like, that's what I just think of. Like, if I'm playing well and I'm winning, like, I'll make more money regardless of whatever happens, you know? So, I mean, I think it just depends on the person and their situation.